Welcome students. Today we move on to the sixth module in the subject CE 405 Environmental Engineering 1. This module mainly deals with the water distribution system in a water supply scheme. So these are the contents that are included in this module: the layout of water distribution system, then the methods of distribution, Hardy-Cross method, equivalent pipe method, and the various pipe appurtenances. So today's class we are going to discuss the layout of the water distribution system and the different methods of distribution. So we know that distribution system is a very important part of any water supply scheme, and the main purpose of the distribution system is to transport the water from the point, that is after the purification the water will be collected in a reservoir. So this water has to reach the consumers. So the process of transporting the water or delivering the water to the consumers with good quality, quantity, and with good appropriate pressure, we call it as this is the main purpose of a distribution system. So we can also say that a distribution system actually is a system which consists of a network of pipes with appurtenances for transporting water from the plant to the consumer's tap. So when we say a distribution system, there are certain criteria or requirements that are needed for a good distribution system, and the most importantly we can say that it should be such that it should be capable of supplying water at the consumer's tap at a reasonable pressure head, that is the pressure head should be sufficient, and also it should be able to meet the fire demand simultaneously. Suppose there is an event of an outbreak of a fire, the distribution system should be such that it should be capable of meeting the fire demand, and also it should maintain the degree of purity, that is suppose there is a repair work going on, or suppose there is a leakage or something. What happens is that then there will be the contamination of the water due from the external sources. So the distribution should be such that it should maintain the purity of the water, and so for this reason it should be completely watertight, and also it should be very easy to maintain and operate a distribution system. It should not be a complicated process to maintain it, and also water should be available even during the point of a breakdown. So suppose there is a breakdown period, then even at that point there should be availability of water for distribution among the consumers. And the distribution should be system, that is a pipe network, should be so laid that during the repair works, if any, it does not cause any obstruction to the flow of water. So at some point, maybe in a distribution system there may be a breakage or leakage in a pipe. So in that case we have to repair the pipe. So during that time or during that period, it should not cause any obstruction to the flow of water to other parts of the community. So this is also one point which a good distribution should satisfy. And also the initial cost of the distribution should be as low as possible. And so these are the different requirements of a good distribution system. Now coming to the layouts of a distribution network, we see that the distribution pipes are usually laid below the road or the pavement. Below the road pavement they will be laid, and the layout will as such the layouts usually follow the layout of the road. So how the road is laid, it is the same pattern that the distribution pipes are also laid. And normally there are we can say that there are four principal methods of laying out the distribution system, and they are the dead end system, then we have the radial system. Dead end system is also known as the tree system. Then we have the radial system, then the gridiron system. Gridiron system is also called as the reticulation system, and we have the ring system, which is also called as the circular system. So we'll discuss each of these. So firstly, the dead end or the tree system. So the dead end or the tree system consists actually in this case there will be one main pipeline which will run through the center of the populated area. So in a particular area, especially this is suitable for very old towns and cities which do not have a definite pattern of road. So in this case what they do is one main pipeline will be running through the through the center of the populated area, and then there will be some sub mains which will take off from the main. From the main there will be sub mains, and the submains will further be divided into several branch lines from which the service connections will be given. That is, the pipelines, the pipe shall be connected. So here you can see in the figure, M represents the main pipe, B represents the branch, S represents the submains, and then of course you have the dot, it refers the valves that are needed for the operation of a distribution system. Now coming to the advantages and disadvantages of a dead end or a tree system. There are various advantages for a dead end system. First, it is actually very cheap, and the design and also the laying of the pipes are all very simple, and it is also very easy to determine the discharge or the pressure in the case of a dead end system. It is easy to determine, and here again the laying of the pipe is a very simple process, and we also see that the number of valves used or that are employed in the system are comparatively lesser, so it will be easy to operate also. So these are the advantages. Now the main disadvantage of a dead end or a tree system is that because of many dead ends, what happens is there will be stagnation of water at these areas or in the pipes, which is not advised. So that is one disadvantage. And also due to the dead ends, what happens is that, and due to the stagnation, what happens is there will be accumulation of sediments at these dead end points, and also score valves are also required at the dead end so that it can be removed, the sediments may be removed. And also another disadvantage is that in the case of repair of any of the pipe sections in this system, the whole of the portion beyond that point to the end will have to be cut off completely. So this is another disadvantage. And also the discharge available for firefighting in the streets is limited in the case of a dead end or a tree system. Now coming to the next type, that is the radial type or a radial system. So here you can see in the figure, this represents a radial system, and that big dot that represents the distribution reservoirs. So in this system, what we do is, in this system it is actually the process wherein the whole area will be divided into a number of distribution areas or districts, and each district will have a centrally located distribution reservoir. So usually the reservoir will be in a higher elevation, or we have the elevated reservoir, and from this point the distribution pipes will run radially towards the periphery of the districts. So like you see in the figure, there will be a central reservoir from which radially the pipes will, or the distribution pipes will run towards the periphery. So this is actually a process where it will give a quick service without much loss of head, and also the design calculations are simple in this case. So even that design means the size of the pipes. We have to design the sizes of the pipes. So this design is comparatively simpler in the case of a radial system. Now coming to the next system, that is the gridiron system. This is also called as a reticulation system, and this is mainly suitable for cities with rectangular layout, where the water mains and the branches will be laid in rectangles. So in this case, what we do is, it is also called as an interlaced system. So as you see in the figure, the main supply pipe will run through the center of the rectangular area, and the submains will take off from these in a perpendicular direction. You can see that the main pipe will run through the center of this rectangular area, and the submains will take off from these in the perpendicular directions. And again the branch lines are interconnected at that it is the branch lines which interconnects all the submains. So the system is ideal for cities laid out on rectangular plan that resembles a gridiron. That's why it is called as a gridiron system. So this is a gridiron system. So main advantages of this system is that there is free circulation of water without any, there will be no stagnation or deposit of sedimentation, etc. in this case. And also there is no chance that there will be any population due to the stagnation of water. And also in the case of any breakdown, if any, water will be available to the through the other direction. So unlike that in the case of a dead end system. So that is one major advantage. And also here, if at all there is any repair, only very small area of the distribution system will be affected. However, there are some disadvantages in this system also. That is, a large number of cutoff valves are required. You can see in the figure here, unlike in the case of a deadline system, here a dead end system, here there are a number of valves. So a large number of cutoff valves are required. That is one disadvantage. And also the system will require longer pipe lengths and bigger diameters. So it will be more costlier. And also the process of laying pipes in this case it is not economic, it is costly. And here the analysis of the discharge, the pressure and velocity etc. is a bit difficult and also cumbersome. So this is about the gridiron system or the reticulation system. So these are the advantages and disadvantages. Coming to the final one, that is the ring system. This is also called as a circular system. So like you see here in the figure, in this system the supply main will form a ring around the distribution district like it is shown in the figure. So here so S represents the sub main, again M represents the main pipe, and B the branches. So here as you see here in the figure, the branches are connected crosswise to the main pipes and also to each other. And here the system is most suitable for the town or area that has very well planned streets and roads. And this system also possesses the same advantages and disadvantages as those of a gridiron system, which we already discussed. But in this case, what happens is, in the case of fire, a large quantity of water will be available. So, and also the length of the distribution main is comparatively larger in this case. So, one of the other major advantages is that water can be supplied to any point from at least 2 directions. So, these are the advantages of a ring system. It is also called as a circular system. Now, coming to the next topic, that is the methods of water distribution. So, we know that for efficient distribution system, adequate water pressure is required at all points, and depending upon the level of the source, that is the source from where the water is being distributed, the topography of the area, and also the other conditions in the locality, the water will be forced into the distribution system by different ways. So, we will see what are the various methods of distribution of water. So, the method of distribution, like I told you, it depends upon the topography of the area, that is the locality, and these are the methods or systems that are usually adopted in the case of a distribution system. The gravity system, then we have the combined gravity and the pumping system, and the pumping system. So, we will see what are they. So, gravity system. So, like the word says, in this case, the source of the water supply will be located in such a way that with respect to the area of the distribution, in such a way that water can be distributed under the pressure of gravity. So, here the source of the water will be located, say, at a higher level with respect to the area where the water has to be distributed. So, water will be available with sufficient pressure at different points of the area. So, here we don't need any pumping. In this case, water can be directly distributed through the force of gravity. So, this is see here, like you can see, there is a water reservoir there, and this is the town or the locality where the water has to be distributed. So, we don't need any pumping method here to pump the water from the source to the pipelines. So, this is a gravity system. So, the consumers can get water from the source or from the reservoir by the force of gravity, and the pipes will be laid such that the reservoir is placed at a higher level compared to the points where the water has to be distributed. Now, coming to the next system, that is a pumping system. So, in this system, what happens is that water has to be pumped directly into the distribution system, so that in order to get the required pressure. So here there will be, we can't supply water through the force of gravity. So in this case we have to use the pumping process in order to supply or distribute the water, because we have to achieve the required pressure. So this is a typical pumping system. You can see here, this is we have a pump house, then you have the reservoir from which the water from the source will be collected in a reservoir after treatment, and from there by the pumping process it will be distributed to the distribution system. So it is also called as a pumping without storage system, because directly it will be pumped. Then high lift pumps are also required in this case, and in this one disadvantage is that if there is a failure of power, there will be complete stoppage of the supply of water, and normally this is not directly used. Now there is another system, that is a combined gravity and pumping system, which is actually the most common method of method that is adopted in the distribution of water. So here what happens is, the treated water will be pumped and stored in an elevated distribution reservoir, and then it will be supplied to the users by the action of gravity. And the excess water, especially during the low demand period, will get stored in the reservoir, and it will get supplied during high demand period. And one advantage of this combined gravity and pumping system is that it is more economical, efficient, and a reliable system. So this is the combined gravity and a pumping system, which is most commonly adopted system in most of the cases. And here the water purification works are located almost at the same level as the area of the distribution, and especially when the source of water or the raw water supply is it is used when the source of water supply is a river or a reservoir formed behind a dam. So these are the various systems of pumping, systems of distribution network. Thank you.